Party all night is the best, best friend weekend. We can party all night is the best friend weekend. We can party all night. Shout out the whole podcast crew. Everybody already know what it do. When you really gotta kill it, ain't nobody gonna feel it. When you really gotta tell them it's my crew, it's best friend weekend. We can party all night. We got Ross moving, Lowe's, Rumble, Aldo NICE is the uncle.
A good bit of people, know about my little autobiography. How at 17, I journeyed to Kansas for college. Pretty much in the middle of nowhere. And pretty much around nobody that looked like myself. But they had a lot of imported people, that looked like me. But the point still remained, nobody in the town was black. And shit was mad different. And with that, I do a lot of thinking. And this brings me to my next point. Boy, do I wonder how my life would have been different if I would have went to a different school, bruh. If I wouldn't have did the wrestling thing and went that route, 10 times out of 10, I would have been to HBCU. And I often wonder how my life would have been fucking probably way different. If I would have went to HBCU, I probably would have been knocking down all the bad AKAs. I probably would have maybe joined a frat potentially. I probably would have been connected and locked in with some guys of my ilk that kind of do the same thing. But man, I just really often wonder how my life would have been way different if I would have went to a different school, bruh.
I said, whoa, welcome to the Best Friend Weekend Podcast. It's your man, Aldo NICE. And look, this is on the heels of another epic homecoming weekend. And first, let me discuss what Rumble was saying. Say, bro, look, it's a little bit more to life than just getting AKAs. AKAs is good. And you know what? I think that's kind of what I would say, it's probably just kind of a short-sighted type of thing because he didn't go to HBCU. He said 10 times out of 10 he would have. And I think if the little homie would have ended up at a HBCU, he would have realized you could have had them all, little bro. It didn't have to just stop at an AKA. You could have had a Deltas, you could have had them Zetas, you could have had some SG Rolls and some GDIs. It all would have happened that way, you know what I'm saying? But I think I know why he's saying that, because all his aunts and cousins is Deltas. So I guess Rumble looks at Deltas as sisterly, and he looks at AKAs as kind of the rivals and maybe the thing to go after. Honestly, man, hey, do your thing, but you would have did well. And you definitely would have pledged the fraternity. Because if you went to HBCU, like I know you, yeah, I would have been pressing him to be part of Blue 5. But you know what it is. First off, man, this is homecoming episode, man. Shout out to Rumble. This podcast is brought to you by Rumble and the uncle for coming to homecoming, for taking that slab with me. Shout out. And coming out there and enjoying some time at Xavier. Also, my boy Jay Harry for making the trip with us. First of all, homecoming was lit as always. We literally went from a school with no discernible homecoming experience to a real turned up situation. When we was in school, homecoming wasn't even really a thing that we looked forward to. I remember us looking forward to Springfest. We had a little Springfest concert. I remember Young Buck came one year, and that was the highlight of, yeah, I know, Young Buck. That was the highlight of our college experience as far as things on the yard. But homecoming really wasn't lit like that. But homecoming it goes down now. So if you went to XU, LA, and you not coming to the mothership in November of every year, you sleep. Somebody probably didn't told you sleep. So you need to start kind of making your way down there, man. We having fun, man. Talking about, this is a homecoming episode, man. Shout out, man. Shout out. Last year, we did a homecoming podcast, and it was cool, man. So like I said, shout out to everybody who was on it. Most of the people who were on that podcast were at homecoming this year, but I couldn't get in contact with everybody, man. Just Devon, Duff, Dr. Lee, Dick Irv, B. Will, Sanem, and Shonda. We hit y'all up about the podcast, but everybody was having they own situation, so we wasn't really I wasn't pressing people to pull up on the podcast. But in retrospect, if I listened to it last year, we told you guys, kind of sounded like a crowded room, so it was a lot of stuff going on. I wanted it to be a little bit more structured this time, and it was hard. I tried to get everybody back on, but people was partying hard. They was having a good time. So this year instead, we did a podcast where I interviewed the homies from the Black Coffee Company. Man, look, The guys are doing their thing, and you're going to hear about the interview. We're going to get to that interview in a second. The Black Coffee Company guys used to be part of what we referred to as, and what people called us, was the backpack clique in college. And those guys, you know, they stuck together. They still run pretty tight, and I think that that's dope. And they have a Black Coffee Company. You're going to hear a lot about their business. You're going to hear a lot about small businesses. I ask a lot of pertinent questions. You guys are going to want to support them after you hear them. And we talk a little bit about our college experience and, you know, some nuances of grown-up relationships after college, man. You're going to hear part of that story. I think we need to do another one where we discuss college friendships. And can you sustain those into adulthood? So I think I'm going to have them back on for that, because I think we left a lot of meat on the bone. I think we left some things there unsaid that I think this podcast, after we listen to it, after you listen to it, you're going to have questions. I have questions. They're going to have questions. Some more things to hash out. But, you know, either way, man, shout out to the broskies. Shout out to the broskies who couldn't make it to homecoming this year. You know what I'm saying? Dre Height, Big Q, like my Ace Coon Booms from the backpack clique in college and everything. But they both came to best friend weekend. So if you're choosing best friend weekend or homecoming, I'm happy y'all rocked out with your boy in Atlanta. You know, shout out to Dominique Young. You know, he gonna be on the podcast real soon. Awesome creative mind and video movie producer. You can look him up at Loyal Bros Films. Like, they're doing some real cool stuff. They got an online series about to drop. We still waiting on it. It's called Raw Dog King. I don't know. I mean, it maybe is what the name implies. I'm thinking it's gonna be entertaining. So I'm here for it. I'm here for a series called Raw Dog King. Yeah, and I mean, shout out to Jasper. I guess he's still a broski too. But back to homecoming. They got multiple ways to do homecoming. I mean, if that makes sense. So I just thought it was interesting, man. I saw people who made it a whole frat or sorority weekend, man. That's dope. I think that's pretty cool. And if you feel like that's what's up, that's what's up. I actually had to talk to some people, like, from my frat, because they was like, hey, man, did you have a falling out with the guys in PPS? No, man, I'm Sigma, man. I'm blue and white. That's what I do. No disrespect to the shield. But my friend circle was kind of really robust in school. So it was like, I didn't want to just necessarily be with the frat the whole time. You know, I still had other cats to run with, my partners from here, my partners from there. And, you know, I put in my time hanging with the frat, but I think it's pretty cool to be able to get up with people that you don't often have an opportunity to see and do different things. I mean, some people did the events circuit, you know. Some people they bought packages. I think they sell packages to go to homecoming. I mean, I don't know. Does that make me not an adult? Because I don't even think twice about buying the package. But I mean, you know, shout out to them, man. And shout out to everybody who won top 40, under 40. They do that at our school. They give out an award for top 40 people under the age of 40 or around the age of 40. I don't know if you got to be under it or not. But shout out, like, one of our soror, Sylvia. Shout out Sylvia. This podcast is brought to you by Sylvia. She got she got that accolade this year, man. And I thought that was pretty cool. But I just thought I might need to have to get a publicist because adult accolades, I don't even know how this works. But it's one thing that I did learn as an educator. The first thing they teach you when you're a teacher, the first couple of weeks in the classroom, is that education is a thankless profession. You have to be the one giving the praise, and you seldom receive the praise. So a large percentage of people, of the workforce, are teachers. And it's crazy that these people go to work every day and they deal with these kids and they work really hard and they never get that praise reaped upon them. So it's something that I've kind of I've internalized that, you know, you don't have to get that because I'm a teacher and you know what you kind of do. But just in general, I think it's an interesting idea of just kind of accolades as an adult. If anybody wants to be my publicist, shout out. I'm here for it. You know, I mean, I think I saw another group of people who just was doing homecoming like for the parties. Like, they was just at every party. Like I said, I think I did a mix of all three. I did some of the picnic stuff on the yard. I did some of the structured events, being the places I needed to do. I did some frat stuff. I did some partying. I think you got to be well-rounded and do a little bit of everything for homecoming. But once again, man, I'm just recovering. And that's why we just putting out the podcast that we did, man. Shout out one more people that I definitely want to shout out, man. This podcast is brought to you by everyone who posted pics of me but didn't tag me. Because you know what? Think about it. I think you're the real MVP. Because you don't really even know me like that. you saw me at homecoming. Some people really kept up with me. Like the people who know me, they posted, they tagged me. They was like, boy, Aldosia, he here. I'm turning up with Al, but a lot of people didn't. And I was okay with that because I'm like, you don't know me like that, really. You know, my boss might be like following me on these social media, and then you got me in a picture holding something I shouldn't have in my hand, drinking something, you know, drinking and driving. I don't know what I was doing. I probably wasn't drinking and driving. But, you know, just out there doing the most. And if you ain't going, don't post me, don't tag me because that's, you don't know me like that. But shout out. But I did also see another post that I thought was hilarious. One of my homegirls from the NO named John, she posted, friends that take forever to send pics and videos they have of you are terrorists. Now that's kind of the flip side of that, which I think is hilarious. You can post a picture of me, don't tag me, but send me that picture. And then let me decide if I want to post it or not. Definitely. So if you saw me at homecoming and you got a fly picture of me even in the background, on the side, whatever it is, man, send that thing to me and whatever. And you know what I think is extra weird now that I'm thinking about it? Facebook been hitting me up all week like, you might be in this picture. Do you want to tag yourself? I think Facebook getting beside itself. I wonder if it's because I got an iPhone XS and now that my face is recognized in my own personal phone, Zuckerberg didn't put that thing in the algorithm some kind of way, shape, or form to where, oh no, anything that looks like my face could. But I mean, that Facebook been doing that for a while, I think. That it recognizes people and say, hey, that might be you. And they've been spot on pretty much. They got a couple of pictures floating that's like, oh, that might be me. And I'm just like, no, you know what? I didn't actually put my own tag on any of them. You know, if people did it, they did it. But you know, that makes a lot of sense, man. But yeah, like I said, if you're holding pictures of me, you're a terrorist, man. You're ISIS. Better yet, you them outright neo-Nazi, make America great again, nationalist, domestic terrorist type terrorist that's popping in the United States right now. But you get the gist, man. Let me stop talking. I could talk all day, man. Without further ado, man. Some people went to Grambling. Some people went to XULA. So cue that music for Nothin NICE to say.
You know, they say if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
Nothing nice to say, but Aldo NICE.
Whoa, on the Best Friend Weekend podcast, we have joining us right now, live and direct from, from different places. We got the fellas from the Black Coffee Company, and this is an interview I've been wanting to get. I'm happy we're getting it this homecoming weekend, man. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves in and across the board.
Yo, whoa, I'm a big fan of the Best Friend Weekend podcast. It's your boy, Leonard Lightfoot, a.k.a. Young Mathematic.
Oh, shit, nigga. I didn't do my rapper intro today, so I'm just going to go ahead and give y'all the professional. My name is Jamin Butler. I am a partner of the Black Coffee Company. Very blessed and happy to be here this lovely day.
What's cracking? This is Chris Bolden out of Atlanta, Georgia, the Truth 73. Just glad to be here with my brethren, and we're just gonna chop it up.
What up? This is Gino from Los Angeles. Xbox Live, Dark Side 4466. Right in there, you know what I'm saying? The gamer.
Nobody heard it. They laughed through it. Say it again.
Yeah. Dark Side 4466.
Okay.
Xbox Live, yeah, I mean.
So yeah, first question. There's a fifth person, Brandon Cole. He's not here. Is he okay with this interview? Because he's the CEO, right? He's the boss, right? I don't know, man. Hey, don't get offended.
No. It's like The Walking Dead. We all Negans.
Okay, y'all. Everybody
am
Negan. I got you. Yeah, so shout out, man. This part of the podcast brought to you by my little frat brother, Brandon Cole. Shout out.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man. So the first question I got, and I mean, it's a real simple question. People, tell me a little bit about your business. The first thing I thought was, I saw Black Coffee Company. Does that mean y'all only drink your coffee black? Because I like my shit with cream in it sometimes, creamer. Does that mean it has to be black? I'm curious. What are we doing right now?
Well, personally, this is Jamin. I prefer my coffee black. It's
like my women.
Well, actually, I was gonna say like my soul,
okay.
Because if you think, it gets deep. So if we're ready to go there, we go there. You have to start with the origins of the coffee bean. You know, women in Africa, specifically in Ethiopia and the highlands, first chewed the coffee bean for productivity. It gave them energy when they were doing their work in the fields and bringing home sustenance for their family. Now, it was first brewed in Europe as a beverage, but I always trace it back to Africa where it's grown and originated. So it being black like my soul. So I keep it 100.
Okay. So you talked about Africa. Y'all got a whole bunch of different blends, and I see they got like different countries and different origins of the different blends that you guys are doing. I saw one like Ethiopian Euro giraffe. I don't know what that is. Does it have something to do with giraffes? Is it what is that all about? Explain some of these different blends you guys got going.
So, like you said, we have our Ethiopian.
How do you say that? How do you say that? Is it Euro giraffe?
Yerga Chepe.
The linguist.
Okay. It's Swahili for Kuchichagulia and Ujima and Umosha. Okay, I got you. I'm with it. I'm with the shit.
O'Shea. Well, we have 3 varieties on the website: the Ethiopian, the Honduran, and the Peru.
And don't forget about our latest debut.
Oh yeah. That's
so y'all only have 2. So out of the 3, 2 of them aren't from Africa.
Yes,
South America. I mean, so you had Peru and Honduras.
Yes.
So I mean, I thought this was black.
Black.
I thought it was black. This kind of like
listen.
It's kind of like this indigenous
all over the world.
middle. I mean, Central American black. I guess is what we call it. We talking dark skin or we talking black people?
Every variation of a coffee blend that you've ever had, be it Nicaraguan, Honduran, Peruvian, Colombian, all of those plant species that they first harvested that coffee originated in Africa. The seeds were taken from Ethiopia and planted all across the world so they could take on new climate, new dirt, the soil, the nutrients. That's how you got the different blends. But the coffee originates in Africa. So every drink, every cup, every sip you take is black like your soul.
See, I thought it was like Don, whatever his name is, Don Julio, Don Quixote or somebody, right? That's what I thought coffee was all about. I don't know. Am I making shit up? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm from Louisiana, so community coffee is like the only coffee that I know of. That's the only stuff in Folgers, maybe sometime here or there, or the third. So I didn't know it was a whole bunch of different variation in different cultural coffees. I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just a me thing. I drink coffee if I need a little boost at work, but I'm not a big coffee drinker. So that's not what actually brought me to your brand. Like, obviously I know you guys, and we can talk a little bit about that. Well, I want to hear a little bit about your backstory, but just specifically, I'm not like, man, I like the fact that they're selling coffee. Let me get some of this coffee. It's more like I like the fact that this brand seems like it's more than just coffee. So, would any one of y'all mind explaining to us and the people out there, like, exactly what the brand is all about and what's all of the tenets of it?
So this starts back to 2015 when we went up there for Laron's graduation down in Detroit.
Laron
Life for my brother.
Okay, shout out.
Brother. So we started as an investment club. We wanted to pool our money together. We did that a couple years, learned about the investment. Through the years, our friendship grew, and we decided to start a business. The possibilities are endless in terms of what you could start, right? And then one day we just had an aha moment. We was all in the group chat or video chat, and we all was drinking coffee. It's like, oh shit, why not? Let's explore this coffee thing. I just got into drinking coffee because, I had a different job, a little bit more stressful. So I started using that to kind of get me through the day. Got the kids and all that stuff. So, right. I was like, oh, this is like a hell of a drug type thing. Because I never really drank caffeine. I don't drink soda and all that stuff. So I didn't really have a caffeine fix or anything like the majority of everybody else. And so we just started exploring, doing research, and we found out, coffee is the number 2 commodity in the world behind oil. So we decided to explore this. We just kind of treated it like an experiment, divvied up tasks, and let's go. Create a website, launched it, and let's roll with it.
So, I mean, you did say that Laron kind of brought that aspect of kind of pooling your money and money management. I saw that your label says, on the website, it talks about coffee, culture, and financial freedom.
Yes.
So those are like your 3 main tenets, I take it, right?
Yes. No, you gotta, it's what's entrepreneurship, financial freedom, community empowerment. Those are our main tenets.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship, financial.
So I must have been looking at the wrong website. Was I looking at the Black Coffee Company?
No,
okay.
You were reading the mission.
Okay.
The mission. It's coffee culture. That's part of it. But and just to back you up a bit, we were attending a graduation at Laron's graduation, and he was originally a member of our investment club.
I was going to ask a little bit about that.
It was a 7-man investment club.
Yeah, okay.
It dwindled down to 4 for a bit. Finished at 5 strong, and that's where we remain. And that's the 5 men who started the Black Coffee Company as well.
Okay. And all of y'all, I know for the people out there, I went to college with all of these guys. Shout out Xavier University Homecoming weekend once again. I went to college with all of these guys, and I mean, we were really fast friends, close friends in college. Backpack Clique. Shout out for those who know. You know what I mean? BPC.
You know.
BPC. Yeah, if you know a little bit about it, you know a little bit. But I mean, like, that was just kind of interesting to me how it kind of settled upon that mix of you guys. So is it kind of like an equally distributed thing? Like all 5 of y'all are kind of 5 equal partners?
5 bosses.
Yeah, 5 bosses.
All 5 equally share.
Okay. In terms of workload and responsibility, because I don't want to get too in depth, but I mean, I've went to your website and I've looked at different things, and I saw y'all do some cool stuff like blog posts as well. I mean, it doesn't look like everyone does blog posts, so is it kind of like some people are responsible for that type of thing, other people are responsible for other aspects of the business where it's kind of like your hands are more in one thing than the other? Help me out. Help me understand this.
So there's no sort of organization structure.
No org chart.
No org chart. If there is an org chart, it will be a circle.
Oh, it's circular. Okay.
Circular.
Okay.
We kind of just rotate and kind of go through the different job titles. Starting a business, it's a challenge, right? You got to wear multiple hats.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the beauty of us, that we're 5, we're distributed, that we're able to kind of share the workload. And that was one of the things that we realized with the investment club, because initially, we didn't know much about the market, so we divvied up the tasks in terms of looking up, researching different investment sectors, and that's the same way we kind of treat black coffee.
I take it. Jamin is the one who's looked up the history of coffee.
Yes,
he seems to be very well versed in the history of coffee. Gotcha.
Yes. So it's strength in numbers. There's no one person that's like in charge of a particular thing. We kind of all share the workload overall.
Okay. Where do you guys okay, so when you said it started with 7 and it went down to 5. Now I'm gonna ask a touchy question. If we don't want to touch this, we don't have to touch this. But when 2 people fall off, are they falling off because of financial concerns, because they don't want to necessarily put in the same amount that you guys want to put in, or is it because they don't want to? Because a lot of times when you're in a business, and I talk to a lot of small businesses that I deal with on a weekly basis, and they talk about how it's hard to run a business with a lot of different chiefs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And not enough Indians, where everyone's kind of the boss. Everybody wants to pull in different directions as far as what they think the company should be about. I like the name. Like I said, I've seen other companies called the Black Coffee Company, but like you guys, I haven't seen any other logos and gear and other people selling Black Coffee Company. So I think you guys are doing some cool stuff. My question is everybody kind of like, how hard is that with everybody kind of 5 different opinions of how the company should run?
That was a long question.
I know it was. There's a lot of pieces. I like to talk.
And I think,
Shut up.
First I got to ask you a question.
I'm listening.
How much time do we have?
24 hours. Everybody got the same 24 hours.
So, bro, I think this whole conversation started off base. I think we need to take this back to how it started.
Gotcha.
We need to talk about the backpack clip.
I'm listening.
My nigga, how come we ain't bonded and business partners today? How come the Best Friend Weekend and Black Coffee ain't in business today, right now? My nigga, you were an original founder of the Backpack Click. Okay. Facts, right?
Leonard. He calling me Leonard, right? Facts. I'm listening.
Facts, right?
Facts, big shit.
But here we we almost 20 years later. Damn, we go to college. 20 years later. Yeah. You successful, we successful, but everybody doing their shit separate. Mm-hmm. And I'm thankful we get opportunity like Homecoming, named conveniently, right? Mm-hmm. To come together and make some shit happen, bro. Yeah. So why is it that we ain't been doing this longer? And I hadn't started before now.
Well, okay, so the thing is, I don't know necessarily the premise of, like, I can only speak for myself. I didn't know Black Coffee Company existed until I saw, like, people posting, hey, look, there's a Black Coffee Company. So it wasn't like I was involved with the thing. It's interesting. It's an interesting kind of how we all kind of overlap in our friendships. In that Leonard's talking about his brother Laron, which is my frat brother, somebody that I know for a long time. And Brandon Cole is another one of my frat brothers, and I still rocked with a lot of y'all in college. It's just angles of, honestly, when we grow up, we all kind of grow. We're in different places. Technology, social media, things weren't what they are now when we graduated college. In 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, when we were finished school, I didn't think there was a network to keep us together as tight-knit as it's available to do now. I kept in contact a lot more with like Dre and Q because they lived closer and they do different things like that. But with a lot of things, man, relationships are like a two-way street. So I mean, if we felt like there was some kind of company or business model that we were all gonna be like pushing towards the same direction, I'm with the shits. But a huge part of it is when there's so many different people trying to have a vision, it's the question that I'm asking. Would I want to be a sixth person trying to pull a company in a direction that the other 5 may not want to go? It's a lot easier, and I can speak to, like, shout out, this podcast is brought to you by Ito Hand Car Wash and Ito Cajun Cocina. When it's 1 or 2 people running the company, it's a lot easier to have one vision. It gets in the way of friendships. It gets in the way of different things. I've seen it happen a million times with businesses. Now, I know that in an idealistic world, that's not going to happen to you guys. And I wish you guys the best. But those are realistic concerns that I think, happen in business.
I'm going to let them take it. I'm just going to make this response, bro. I'm going to flip that on its head.
I'm listening.
For one, it's not a 6th vision. It's one vision, right? It's one direction. We all going towards the same place. At the end of the day, right? We all going the same place.
Tell me where we going, brother.
We going in the dirt. Where we came from, whence we came.
Okay.
We all going there. You ain't going nowhere different. Neither is you. Right? So that's the same direction.
Okay.
We always have, from day one, been on the same boat. We may be looking in different directions, but we on the same boat, going the same way, right? So you say it's easier for one man with one vision to do his thing. True. Then you got one man there, one vision. You got one man there, one vision. You got one man. Mom, then you got 13 different visions.
Okay.
So everybody looking in a different direction and niggas ain't going nowhere.
Got you.
And that's what we had from day one. That's what we've always had. Because we bonded, because we fought in the laundry room because we were like-minded, brothers. So that's how you know it was something there. We didn't take advantage of it. And that's all you said. Relationships are two-way streets, so it falls on everybody not to, to understand that. Blessed we were to keep some of the networks and some aren't as tight. Well, I'm just saying, I made the point to say, we get too distracted on that my vision, his vision, her vision shit. I think that's the ego.
Okay.
Because we all go in the same direction. What tactic we take, what strategy, we could try it.
This is kind of all I want to say about that. Now, I definitely want Gino to chime in, and I definitely want Leonard to chime in because I know y'all have some things.
Bro, he talked it all.
When I'm talking a little bit about vision and I'm talking about direction, what I mean by that is this. Everybody has their own strengths. Everybody has their own kind of lanes that they want to run in. And my thought is just that if, let's say, and we're going to throw out that example of like the Best Friend Weekend podcast and the Black Coffee Company. If we're both doing our thing, there's no problem with us both doing our thing and then kind of connecting and saying, hey, let's cross promote, let's do different things together. I think we're at that phase now, but I'm happy to allow you guys to kind of bring your product along, me bring my thing along, and then let's say, hey, look, let's coexist and see where those lanes kind of coexist at. And I think that's a better place. Because I'm not going to keep reiterating that point, but I've seen it a lot of times where it's like friendships and different things happen, friends in business. People don't say that because it's not true. People say it because it's a real thing. Friends in business sometimes become strange bedfellows where people get in like let's say this business blows up and Black Coffee Company is worth $100 million. The original 2 guys who aren't still in it might be like, damn, well, I'm not involved. I was day one. I mean, and I'm not saying, things like that can happen, and that's kind of more along the lines of what I was referring to.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jim.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking that when you were saying that there was 5 individuals, it comes down, honestly, to trust. Because when we first got started, like Jamie said, it was 7 of us, actually 8 of us. And we brought the idea to the table, and immediately, a few of them was like, I'm out. Not even hearing the concept or digesting the idea of, maybe we can do this together. It was just like an immediate, nah, I'm out. So then when we ended up with 5, we sat down, all 5 of us together, and was like, okay, this is what we want to do. How would we best be successful if we are 5 individuals? And it came down to, if we have an idea, if someone has an idea that they're for or they're against it, we have to trust each other enough to say yes, and actually respect each other to say, I respect your opinion. I don't think this is the right way or this is the wrong way, and we just go from there. So any decision we made for our company, it's definitely built off of trust and respect from one another. So that's how we have been able to continue this model, even though historically we shouldn't be, if that's the case.
So I would like to just add to that what Gino just said is trust, and it wasn't there day one. It wasn't. Just 100, even some of the internal stuff within the 5 founder members. We've gone through some conflict internally with the 5 of us. And so in terms of, I know it's not normal to have 5 CEOs, as an example. It's hard, right? But what we realized and us actually just putting our money together, that's a big first step, right?
Mhm.
That's a big trust factor, right? You dropped for $50 this month. Why you late, man? I got my $50 in. You know what I'm saying? So because we kept doing that every month, we slowly start to trust each other a lot more.
Yeah.
And then as we came up with this idea of black coffee, it's coffee beans. I mean, it's just coffee, right? But it's a brand and there's a shared vision. It's not about us individually. It's about that vision.
Okay.
So we're all working for that vision and it's bigger than us. We see it bigger than us. We're trying to move with the culture.
Mhm.
So at times, I know we individually want things out of it, and we have arguments, and we always step back. It'd be like some little things. We could air out some of our dirty laundry. Simple things. Oh, we shouldn't post that particular thing.
Mhm.
It was, as an example, Chris' birthday. Some of the things that he had on his post with the black coffee thing, I didn't appreciate it. I didn't like it, right? So I brought it up. And of course, it caused contention, right? But if we're going to grow, we can't let this little thing stop us. We're going to have to deal with conflict. We're 5 different individuals. We have 5 different ways of thinking of where we think it could go. So let's deal with this conflict. Don't push it to the side like, oh, no, I don't really like it. I ain't going to say nothing. Let's just deal with it.
Yeah.
Let's come up with a compromised way of how we're going to deal with conflict resolution. So that's the thing that we've learned a lot just working together. It's not easy. This shit is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're in 5 different states. We got to do the video chat. Technology has blessed us with the capability to kind of work together on this particular thing. But yeah, it's not easy. I think it is probably a little bit, maybe easier. You can move faster and achieve things a lot faster and quicker if it's just 1 or 2 people. So we deliberately took a slower route to make sure, let's just get it right. Let's just try to do it. If we fail, so what? But we're going to try to document this journey so that the next man or the next group could potentially learn from this. Like you said, this is way bigger than us.
For me, it's, we're an example to the community. You know what I'm saying? I understand a lot of businesses fail. That's because you got 2 people who just trying to make some money together. That ain't what this is. It's a lot of other ways we could have got money together. It's a lot of other directions we could have went in. We in business because we brothers. You know what I'm saying? And so that perspective kind of changes a lot of the business act, the way the business runs. We're not voting on stuff, you know what I'm saying, just because we have personal feelings about it. If Leonard brings something to the group and he's passionate about it, I wasn't really with the coffee. You know what I'm saying? That was something that I had to trust my brothers on. Mm-hmm. They say, yo, this is the direction that we want to go in. Just think about how limited my mind was back then and where we are now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We're doing interviews, we rocking merch. Like, the company's going in a direction I never even would have foresaw. But I had to trust them and their vision, got behind that, and now, we moving in so many different directions. We get in partnerships with so many different individuals. Our hands are just in a lot of different places. And, it's 5 different personalities, 6 different personalities. But at the end of the day, I think our brotherhood is more about steel sharpening steel. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's not as strong on something, somebody else can step up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's one of the best strengths that we have as a company.
Yeah. Like
it's a risk.
It's a risk. And like we said, like, we're just continuing to learn. Like, you're an educator. And like, we're just constantly just trying to improve ourselves. Like, for example, the Gino, like, I had a strong, background or just understanding of this investment. So what did we do? We had Gino take care of the investment account. So we just threw him in the water to learn. So now this man knows how to do all the trading. Like, he didn't know nothing. And then just like the feedback we got today, we gave our presentation. They was like, dude, you guys did good, but you 2 need to work on your ums. You need to get them pregnant pause. So I'm like, okay, that's something that's an action item. If we want to take this brand, if we want to grow as professionals and just move the people or move the culture, then we got to get better. And like Chris said, still sharpen steel. That's what it's about.
A term that I'm hearing a lot is vision and the people and the culture. And there's definitely a tenor in the black coffee company's business model, I'm assuming, to blackness, the idea of the culture, we, us, the African American community. How do you think that plays long term? let me put it in this way. Black people don't always support each other the way that they should. Do you feel like you're closing off a demographic that could be helpful? Someone that could potentially say, hey, I want to be part of Black Coffee, but they don't feel like there's a way, an entry point into your into messing with y'all because y'all are focusing on blackness, which I don't have a problem with. I'm black. I'm cool with it, but there you go.
I think you got to reorient that frame,
I'm listening.
brother. You got to look at it a little different through a lens. You said it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a tenet, the culture,
Mm-hmm.
the people, right? The culture and the people have always dictated what's hot, what's trendy, what direction people move in, where we put our money.
Mm-hmm.
America in consumerism is how we, operate. And our dominant export is our culture, truly, right? The rest of the world is buying in. They want a piece of America. That's why we have, immigrant, all that, right? Hip hop is a dominant music art form, right? Period.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that it's not we, Black folk, don't control it. Right, we may create the product, but we aren't in control of it. We aren't the number one benefactors from the monetization of it, right? But it remains a dominant art form because our stuff, the uniqueness rooted in Black people, is special. Now, I say that, but I want you to understand we are not exclusive. We're inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the benefits of our culture. If you look at hip hop, everyone celebrates it. And you go to Tokyo, right? They got hip hop. Our hottest rappers get the biggest bags when they go to Japan because that's where they got the biggest fans, right? Because our music, our culture sells worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not excluding anybody. We're inclusive by focusing and shifting our lens to our culture. But we allow everyone to participate by selling our products, selling our merchandise, and pushing our vision.
But I mean, 2018 America, you don't find that somebody could say, well, shit, all coffee matters. I'm saying that, but I'm like you. Okay, so where you guys work at, do y'all primarily work with Black people?
No.
In fact,
how does that like?
You've done your research on Black coffee. If you go deeper, you will see that we source our beans from a wonderful Caucasian couple based in Ohio.
Yep. And that's dope. I guess my point is just you can work with liberal-minded white people. You can work with conservative white people. You can work with white people who are like, vote for Beto, change. You can work with white people who are like, make America great again. My thing is, do you ever kind of look at it like when you're with your Black coffee mug, with your Black coffee shirt, with your Black this and your Black that? Do y'all never think about that as at your day-to-day job that someone can look at that as being like, oh, he's one of them? I'm just saying. This is me asking y'all how you feel about it.
100%.
Gotcha.
I wasn't a big fan of the name
okay.
because I'm
talk about
because
our debates.
I'm pretty. I work for I work with a lot of white people.
We'll edit out who you work for.
Okay, all right. But
we'll edit that out before you lose your security clearance.
That's right, we can. But I thought it was too strong. This is my personality. I'm kind of conservative. I'm kind of shy. And I didn't want to alienate anybody, right? I mean, at the time, I was living in Ohio. I mean, it wasn't like I was around this dominant Black culture, right? I was like, I'm going to just alienate everybody. Nobody's going to really want to mess with us, right? But at the same time, it's coffee, right? Coffee gets a seat at every single table. No matter... So as we've done the research of coffee, I say coffee is just coffee, right? 99% of coffee is marketing. I'm just being 100. As a coffee seller, it is marketing. The average person cannot tell you where this is from. We have the enthusiasts and people that's specialty coffee. But the 99% of people that consume coffee don't care. Right?
They just want some good coffee.
It's marketing, right? It's Starbucks, right? So we decided to take this number 2 commodity. Let's just see where this takes us, right? We're on a journey now. It has opened up so many doors that we never would have imagined. Just even doing something not trivial, but something, coffee and chat thing at homecoming. It would have never even crossed my mind to even participate as an alumni, to have some mentorship or guidance that I could provide to the youth. I would never even thought of that. I was like, it's too early. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
But with the coffee, it was like, hey, and we can have a presence. We could change this. We could do something about this. So that's why, at the time, it wasn't, we had this grand vision of coffee, it's going to take us place. It just kind of, over time, we just learned, like, oh, this is opening up doors. This could take us a lot more places than if we was just by ourselves. I don't know if it's just having a business. I don't know if any business will do that. But for coffee, from our experience, it has opened up so many more doors. And it has, like, created conversations I never would have had amongst even my brothers here. I like to use this term, financially intimate. We have become very open amongst the 5 of us. We disclose our debt, what we're going through in our day-to-day life, what kind of decisions we're trying to make. Should I invest in this 401k type of stock? Should I get this type of life insurance thing? That is what Black coffee is to us. It's about changing the discussion, having a narrative. Coffee gets to sit at every single table. So that's why this is why we were doing this.
That's ding, 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 ding. I think that's the answer that the question that I asked originally about the Black Coffee Company. What is this? What is it about? I think you just hit the nail on the head and gave me an understanding of why and how all of these pieces come together. Like, because it felt a lot like, look, we're going to kind of do a little bit of this, we're going to foray into this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But it kind of was like, how does that deal with coffee? And you just made it make sense to me. That's kind of, that's the sign of a great teacher, when you can talk about some stuff and then people can understand it. You kind of hit the nail on the head.
But it didn't happen just instantly. It took some time, right? And we didn't realize what we was doing. We didn't even realize we was building trust. We was just kind of going through the motions. And then we started to discover some of the things of like, why didn't we do this before? Like, man, boy, we was back together in 2000 or even back in 99, right? When we was all out here.
Well, I wouldn't have been done coffee with y'all. I was trying to do beer. But it's fun.
Whatever, right? Whatever the passion
We'd
is,
have
right?
had a microbrewery in the dorm.
But whatever the passion was, right?
Yeah.
We would have been behind it, though.
Absolutely.
If we knew how powerful it was to just, like, not just to pack some people
But you
up.
got to think about, there's one aspect that you can't understate, which is y'all relationships.
Yeah.
You have to have the strong personal relationships where you feel that trust is there and that these are your rounds. You know what I mean? There's something to be said for that. There has to be the strength of the relationship to begin with.
Right. The trust is just like anything. It has to be built.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Like a relationship. Yeah, there you go.
Right.
You don't trust your girlfriend the first day.
Yeah, you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes you a while.
Right. You just go order that large meal.
Superstar.
But I would like to. I mean, I think Chris, he talks about this example a lot about, your dad when you first approached him about the investment club and his thoughts and his reaction to it. I mean, can you share that?
Yeah.
I think it's important.
So I went to my pops. I tried at him about the possibility of doing a Black coffee, because like you said, there is a big risk when you start a business with anybody. You know what I'm saying? And when I approached my dad about it, he was like, "Wow, you sure you trust them with your money like that?" All right. But I mean, a little bit about my dad. I mean, he worked for the bank for years. You know what I'm saying? And one day they just said, "You know what? That's it." You know what I'm saying? Gave him a toaster and he was out of there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he trusted them. You know what I'm saying? These my brothers. We done traveled around the world together. We done said some evil stuff to one another. You know what I'm saying? We didn't stop talking for years at a time. You know what I'm saying? So we battle tested. You know what I'm saying? I know what to say to make Jamie mad. And I know what to say to get him fired up and ready, you know what I'm saying, for whatever. You know what I'm saying? We've been in situations where we about to fight. There's a trust there you don't get with just a traditional business partner. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want for the community. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's sometimes I gotta, you know what I'm saying, dig deep. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I gotta step out of my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't good at public speaking, but we was all up there today, you know what I'm saying, making that happen. We all growing together. That's the beauty of the business. As the company grows, we're growing together as men. You know what I'm saying? People who aren't good at something, we're gonna keep pushing you. You know what I'm saying? But we're not focused on every one person in the group, everybody being good at everything. You know what I'm saying? The strength is, if you good at that, I'm gonna be good at something else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna build you up to where you can get to where I'm at. And then we all one complete corporation within one another. You know what I'm saying? Black coffee is the vehicle for all kind of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the future holds. Coffee is just, you know what I'm I'm saying? That was just the experiment. That was the seed. You know what I'm saying? It's grown into all of this.
The bean.
The bean. The simple bean. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you guys are saying a lot, and I mean, and I think that that's a lot of things that listeners can take away from this. Is that when you want to do things, then you might not you shouldn't automatically think friends and business is automatically going to end up being a negative thing.
Amen.
And I mean, and if these are other things you have people kind of walking away from this with, then that's a really good thing. I mean, now I don't want to cycle back to be. I mean, I'm sometimes this for the podcast listeners. Let me go back and let me cycle back just a bit. And I think that might have a little bit to do with the question that you asked originally about why haven't we all been getting it? Like we started a group of 9 when we were freshmen in college. Shout out! This podcast is brought to you by Dominique, Raw Dog King. This podcast brought to you by Jasper, whatever he do, wherever he at. This podcast brought to you by Dre Hype. One time, see you at the next BFW weekend. This podcast brought to you by all of y'all guys doing y'all thing with the Black Company. This podcast brought to you by my fucking dog, my guy, Big Q. Shout out one time. Yeah. So, like, we all kind of doing different things. But, Jamin, I'm just going to say it this way.
Come on, man.
Y'all have that relationship.
No, let's go. Look, brother, give me my turn, bro.
Everybody don't have those relationships.
I'm reclaiming my time, brother. It's my time. Come on. Look, my nigga, there was a reason the 9 of us came together. Why? Why did that happen? You from New Iberia, Louisiana. I'm from Inglewood, California. Why would I ever fuck with you? There's something that brought us together, and it wasn't our decision.
I thought it was just...
It's brother, it's my soul. It's your soul, brother.
I thought it was the fact that Dre was cool. And
No.
And I always look at Dre as kind of like this glue that kind of brought niggas together.
I'm just trying to get Dre.
And then when that kind of dissipated, it made it a little bit more difficult.
We get distracted from my point, brother. We came together because instinctively that's what we do as a community. Yeah. We are...
People been asking about you all weekend. They ask me about you when they see me.
Yeah. We are a tribe, brother. You got... It's in our DNA to bond. But we fight it with our insecurity. We fight it with our ego, right? Just like he said, we didn't fought. We went rounds. He wouldn't talk about me rounds. But I did tell you 10 people who would tell me these 2 niggas right here would never do anything together. I can give you names. They said, not gonna happen. Frat brothers, name them. You want blood brothers, name them. Ex-girlfriends, name them. Right? We are because that trust, that insecurity, that ego in us tells us no, don't. It's gonna get hurt. You can't do it. Don't just do it on your own. That's not how we were bred. It's not in our DNA. That's how we were divided. That's how we were conquered. That's how we were separated, and that's how we continue to lose.
And I don't listen. This is not. I'm not going to allow this to become a contentious conversation about having different views on this. I know, and I'm usually here for this. And a lot of times I say I got time.
I've been waiting for this smoke, Alan. I've been waiting for this smoke.
Oh, shit! Birdman episode.
Laundry room fume.
Hey, last week I made 36. Man, shout out. When we came together,
yep.
I was 18.
Yep.
I'm just saying, man. I've lived a whole nother life since then.
Exactly.
My point is, we grow as men, and sometimes we realize that we put friends in certain compartments because it's cool to hang with this cat and do this for this. But sometimes it's like personalities do clash, and it's cool to be like, I know how to fuck with this person, and I'm only gonna fuck with them in this sphere because that's what's comfortable. You don't always have to be cool with everybody for like huge periods of life. Like I say this to people all the time, I got enough friends, and I don't mean that in like a dickish way. I look at y'all as friends, but I have enough friends to where I don't need to go like, man, look, if I want to go on a vacation, I don't need to be like, hey, look, Gino, I need a nigga to go with me on vacation. You know what I mean? Like, I got a friend to go on vacation with. But listen, I want us to walk away from this table, this physical table, not even this. And you were saying like a metaphor, like a just kind of a table in name. I'm talking about this physical table. I want us to walk away from this table actually having a relationship. I'm taking the Black Coffee Company and gonna try to hook that up with Ito Hand Car Wash that we do stuff with and Ito's Cajun Cocina. I'm gonna push the Black Coffee Company brand on the Best Friend Weekend brand. Like, that's where these relationships start. You're asking for it. We're clamoring for it. It's starting today.
We spoke into existence, brother.
But who hit who up about coming to get on the podcast?
Nigga, who bought your? Nigga, we've been blasting the best friends weekend from day one because we've been asking for this smoke.
Blasting on what?
Let me say one thing. You right.
You posted one time and said, "Look, shout out to all the podcasts."
Come on.
And
But
guess
look,
what?
look.
Guess whose podcast didn't get named? This podcast brought to you by the Best Friend Weekend podcast.
Pull up the transcript.
Let's run the tape.
Somebody screenshotted it and sent it to me. Don't worry about it. I was asleep.
Fact check.
Hey, hold on. I heard it when I was asleep.
Real quick. No, you said something that I want to double back on. You said you're 36. Happy belated birthday.
Appreciate
brother.
you.
I'm 36. 82 baby in the building, right? We matured, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was immature. I didn't know what we were doing. We all were going driven by instinct, and we didn't know what we had, right? When you look back on it, some of the best times in our lives, right? So we were blessed. So let's remember that. Let's take that lesson. Let's pass that to the next generation.
Fair enough.
Really take stock of what you have in those relationships and really leverage them in ways that we could have built this empire 10 years ago and been big chilling right now.
So Dre and Big Q are gonna laugh when they hear me say this. Jamin, I've already come to this realization years ago that the reason me and you didn't get along is because we're the same type of nigga. Like, we both want to be the leader. And I think, but stop, that's who you are as the coach. Like, your friends at the Black Coffee Company will probably attest to that. That you have one of those personalities where you want to call the shots. And I want to call the shots too. And we're kind of the same nigga in that way. We both like the Saints. Who that, my nigga? Yep. We look. That's let's just be honest, man. Look, that's water under the bridge, and we on to the next shit, man. Look, so I had one other question for y'all. Let me see. I think I had one other thing. Maybe we already got to it. Just basically about voting. I noticed that voting was real big with y'all. And just kind of, I saw y'all making a good push for people to get out there. How did y'all feel about the midterm elections? And quote unquote, just kind of, did y'all feel like y'all made some kind of a wave there?
Absolutely. Our ancestors, and I know this is sounds like
you
cliche.
can't keep talking about the Orishas and the ancestors.
Cliche, but it's facts, bro. They try to take your history from you because that's how they take your power. So let's remember and honor those ancestors who died and were beaten and driven into the mud for our rights to vote.
Gotcha.
So anytime that we empower or encourage somebody else to engage in their civic freedoms, that's a win for me any day of the week. We had people talking about we need to get a bus, reaching out to us. So we didn't get that bus, but we're going to make plans the next time around.
Gotcha.
Did we make so yes, we did make a wave.
So when y'all start doing, because since the Black Coffee Company's got everything, like it's all encompassing with a lot of things, when y'all make y'all foray into podcasting, I'm definitely going to be on board with that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we want to do a monthly thing or if we want to do we'll talk about the logistics of it, but this is nothing for me to do. I write content on podcasts all the time. We can make some stuff happen and push it on the brand. So
yeah, because I have ideas as well.
Yeah,
so
we can sit down and chop it up about that. I'll let you do the research since I'm an expert on it.
Because you gotta call the shots, right?
Hey man, because I gotta call the shots, right? Hey man, y'all tell the people what to go to. Tell them y'all Instagram, hashtag, all the rest of this shit. Let them know.
True73, Instagram, Facebook, pretty much everything. I'll have it.
This is Jamin. You can find me on Instagram at Fearless Innovator, Facebook, Jamin Butler.
So I thought when you already said throw the hashtag out there, I thought it was
Black
coffee.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
you can get the coffee at theblackcoffeecompany.com. Our social media hashtag is BLK Coffee Co. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Find us there, support everything. So we have a saying, we're not profit driven, we're people driven. We're just trying to help each other. So please support. The support means a lot to the community, and we're just building partnerships.
BLK Coffee Co. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You'll find us there. It's not just coffee. We have blogs, we have merch. If you want a partnership, anything that you think that we can help you, please reach out to us. No matter how big or how small. You have questions, we're here to answer them. Please reach out to us.
We would be remiss if we did not shout out our partners too. A couple of them. I want to definitely Monica Gibbs. You can find her on Instagram at Moni Artist, at MONI_artist, ARTIST, a wonderful graphic designer, blogger, creative. She's out here killing it. Check her out. Also, we got to shout out Romance on the Go to Vika Hinton, based out of Florida, Romance Concierge.
Yeah, man. B. Cole couldn't make it. Definitely just want to shout him out again. B. Cole, he's one of the founding fathers. Sorry we had to do this without you.
But he's taking care of his fatherhood duties and responsibilities. So that salute to him.
Yep.
That's why he couldn't be here.
Well, there it is, man. Look, we appreciate y'all coming on the BFW podcast. It's not the first time, but not the last time, right? Like Leonard said, first time, long time?
Yeah, first time, long time. Yeah.
So, man, we'll catch y'all guys around the way, man.